Hello, and welcome back to Killer Audio Stories, playlist Word Vomit. Today's little gem is about the strange and mysterious death of Edgar Allan Poe. The story of Poe's death, which occurred on October 7, 1849, during the week of the city elections, is mostly circumstantial, but two main versions prevail amongst the rest. Version number 1, he was found on a park bench, much like the Hollywood movie The Raven, which portrayed him as a dazed, confused, and muttering to himself. Version number 2, he was found in the street gutter by a man whom he was supposed to meet in the city earlier that week. He was taken to the hospital where he sooner died. The unofficial cause of death, swelling of the brain. The known consensus is that something was awry with his death, and a few facts make for interesting theories. The clothes that Poe is wearing on the day he was found did not match his normal attire, and it was even stated that his buttons were buttoned incorrectly. The man who was his literary rival at the time was also the same man who wrote his obituary, labeling him as a depraved drunk whom was also a womanizer. Poe's final words were quoted to be, "Lord help my poor soul," which would indicate possibility of remorse, regret, or great suffering. If you'd like to hear more theories and interesting facts about Poe's death, then stay tuned to the end of this video. And now, without further ado, my poem, Raven's Sonnet. "160 years ago, a man squandered his last breath. I'll know him by the sound of Poe, and Baltimore as his place of death. Depraved and drunk is how he stayed, someone claimed with sly cheek, deceived and left in his dismay, to die well within the week. 8 years passed, and death at last, says Griswold with closed eyes, while Poe's career goes up, and fast, thereafter Griswold dies. Words can be remembered, and rivals will be forgot, but in the end we all will sever, buried amongst the plot." Wow, that was some good stuff. To hear some other good stuff, check out my second channel, Black Book Creations, where I draw interesting pictures for your viewing pleasure. You can also check out a collaboration of all my work on watchmeliveit.com, where I post all of my creative outlets. Now for some other interesting facts about the mystery surrounding Edgar Allan Poe's death. Poe's symptoms of death could have resulted from several different circumstances, including the following: tuberculosis, which was running rampant during that era of the 19th century; cholera, which is a bacterial infection typically contracted from contaminated water; syphilis, a sexually transmitted disease because Poe is a supposed womanizer; rabies, which was also fairly common and contracted in the 19th century. Lastly, and the most interesting, cooping, which is a form of voter fraud where a candidate would hire local muscle to strong-arm people into voting multiple times for the same candidate, often getting them drunk, drugging them, while also making them use disguises, while changing their clothes frequently to avoid being caught, much like how Edgar Allan Poe was delirious and in the wrong clothes. I find all of these facts very interesting and can easily connect the dots to any one of these circumstances. However, I believe his rival was the cause of his death, and perhaps maybe he wrote Poe's obituary to implicate that Poe was deserving of his early demise. How do you think Poe died? Do you think it was from a disease, or do you think it was from foul play? Leave a comment below and tell us what you think. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification icon to stay up to date with my current videos. Thank you, folks, and I will catch you next week.
I can't